morning, garden friends. It's week 13 of This Week in the Garden, and I'm back in the blueberries. It's actually a hot, very warm day so far. It's not even 11 o'clock, and I'm already uncomfortable. So yeah, today's going to be probably a short day. Actually, this is probably going to be a short video. It is now Saturday, and I haven't videoed all week. That's not to say that there hasn't been anything going on in the garden. There's been plenty. My friend Sylvia came 3 times last week to help me weed, and the weed situation in the garden is looking great. Lots of harvesting. Like I mentioned last week, our 3 primary objectives now at this late stage in the summer, we're late July, harvesting, keeping up on the harvesting, watering when necessary, and weeding. Just endless cycles of picking, checking the water levels and watering, and then weeding, trying to stay on top of the weeds before they go to seed. So yeah, that's not terribly exciting, right, to video, but I knew I had to come up with something to do this week that was exciting. And we will get into the garden, the proper market garden, eventually in this video, but I thought I'd start here in the blueberries, which are still going gangbusters. I was in here this morning early to let some birds out that managed to get inside of the bird netting, and that happens actually pretty frequently, a couple times a week at least. And I don't know how they're getting in, but they are. There were 6 finches in here this morning. Anyway, letting them out, and realized again that the blueberries are just groaning with ripe fruit, and so I've got to get in here again. And I've already been in here like 3 times this week, and I've had friends in here twice. So lots and lots of blueberries. I'm not complaining. We feel very lucky that we have this patch, but I'm one that doesn't like to let food go to waste, so I feel like I have to pick every single berry and preserve it. Anyway, so I thought I'd start here this morning before it got too horribly hot, and take care of a couple of things, not picking though. And one of them is installing some new blueberry bushes. We have some gaps in the row here closest to the road, blueberries that didn't make it, and then down at the end, I'll show you in a second, we have a few spaces underneath the enclosure where we can place a couple of these. I bought 3 different blueberry varieties. I've got Jersey, which is a late summer variety. And then I've got Aurora, which is a midsummer variety, mid-season. And then this is Blue Jay, which is an early season. And it just means when their berries ripen. And you want to have a mix of different varieties that ripen at different stages so that you can extend your harvest. You also want to have a number of different varieties so that you have cross-pollination. You get much better production with different varieties. I don't have any idea what these mature blueberry bushes are in terms of varieties, so I've just been adding a different mix of younger bushes, just assuming that, you know, I'm providing a variety of types, and you know, the results speak for themselves. We have plenty of harvest. So I'm going to plant these today. I'll get these in the ground and out of the pot, and then we'll move into the market garden. So let's get these planted, and we'll take it from there. So looking down this outer row, there's actually a space right in here. There's a big blueberry bush here, and then there's another small one right here. Could probably fit one in the middle, but it is a bit shadier than I would like. The bushes on this end tend to not have as many berries because they're not in full baking sun all day. I could put one there, but let's walk down here, and actually down at this end, I think this is probably where I'm going to end up putting all 3, because this is in bright blazing sunlight, which will help with berries. So we have a couple of very large boulders, probably bigger than we could dig out with the tractor. But I could probably put one near it. they're not terribly deep-rooted. The other option, and here's more boulders coming out of the ground, I could put one just over here next to this bush, so that would be one. And then on this end, there's this one that I transplanted last year. There's actually probably room for two right here. So I think I'm going to grab the pots and kind of play with positioning. Alright, so I just decided I'm going to put one in this middle row here next to the post, but far enough away from those boulders. One in this back row. It keeps flopping over because it's top heavy and has lots of berries on it. And then one over here. So let's get digging. Alright, I've got these planted. I didn't amend the soil. The soil here in central New Hampshire is pretty darn near perfect for growing blueberries, at least on this property. It's acidic and, you know, medium fertility, not super fertile. And as you can see, the rest of the blueberry patch is very happy in this spot. So I just planted it back in the native soil. What I am going to do though is grab some wood chips and do a nice base of wood chips around the plant just to keep the moisture in, especially at this early stage, and also give some organic matter as they break down the organic matter. And wood chips tend to drive the soil a little bit toward the acid side, so that'll help as well. So I'm going to do that with these three, and I think we'll be good to go. Okay, each blueberry bush has their little ring of wood chips. I actually took from a pile that was fairly old, a couple years old, so the wood chips are actually partially decomposed, which is even better. So here's the third one. So yeah, three new blueberry bushes. Probably asking, why did I put 3 new blueberry bushes in when I can't keep up with the ones I have? Well, I'm a gardener. We have space. I must fill it. So yeah, here we are. Now while I'm in here, I'm actually going to do some off-season pruning that I normally wouldn't do, but because the blueberries are in leaf, I can tell what's dead and what's not. These 3 blueberries I transplanted a year and a half ago. I did it at the wrong time of year and left them too big. This one's doing okay, but this one's definitely struggling. It does have some new canes here, but these are dead. So while there are leaves on the new canes, and I can tell the difference, I'm going to cut back these dead ones to the ground and get rid of them. Well, it's considerably later than it was when I was in the blueberries earlier, It's mid-late afternoon. I went inside to bake some bread after planting the blueberries, and then my husband decided to mow the front lawn and just outside the garden, and then he came in and mowed the garden, the grass around the garden beds, which was great, just bad timing. And then I got busy with other things, so I'm gonna finally wrap this video up now. While he was doing all that, I actually came through and did a big deadheading of this pollinator row, and yeah, it definitely needed it. I'm going to take you down this, show you a few things, and then just a few highlights. I'm not going to go through the whole garden. There's a couple of things that are interesting. Yeah, so let me take you through. One thing I'm going to have to do later, I have a pile of stakes and some string. As I went through this pollinator border, there were a few things that flopped over. We've had some wind lately, and yeah, some things have taken a beating. But all in all, this border is looking so good. I mean, look at how thick it is right now. Came through and I deadheaded as much as I could, especially the cosmos, although I missed one right here. Oop. Oh well. Cosmos need to be deadheaded frequently, or they just stop blooming. But look at some of these, like here, oops, there's a bumblebee on this one. This is one of the Tithonia. This is the variety called Torch, the orange one. I mean, this is so brilliantly orange. It's stunning. And yeah, everything is pretty lush in this border right now. But as you can see, some of the cosmos took a beating, kind of flopped over, and I'll stand these up, stake them up, and they'll be fine. Yipe. The Bright Lights cosmos just keep flowering, and as you can see, we have all kinds of pollinators on them. Bees and butterflies, which is exactly what I want. The only thing I don't deadhead are the sunflowers, and as you can see right here, this sunflower has gone to seed, and I leave it, and it's already been picked at by the birds. I leave it for the birds. And so I don't deadhead them. I let them just go to seed. This is one sunflower that was a victim of the wind. It bent over, and I'm not going to bother straightening it up because if I do, that will snap. So it's just going to stay here and it will grow sideways. I love these cupcake white cosmos. Of all the cosmos that are in this garden, this one seems to keep blooming the most even if you don't deadhead it. The others tend to stop or slow down, but this one's going gangbusters. And I just love the solid cup of white. So I'll definitely be growing these again. These are also the same cosmos that are in the barn slope garden, along with the jasmine-scented Nicotiana. So yeah, a winner in my mind. Another Tithonia with a bumble. The Tithonias are finally coming along. I've noticed the yellow ones don't seem to be doing as well. Verbena bonariensis is flowering like crazy, as are all the zinnias. Lots of zinnias. More cosmos. Now this is, it's a white cosmos, and I can't remember the name. I'll put it on the screen. It's a variety of colors, and white happens to be one of them, but notice the difference in the petals. These have separate petals. And these, if you don't deadhead them, they just seem to kind of peter out. So I'm definitely going to do more of the cupcake white next year. I was looking for the yellow. Is this the yellow? This might be the yellow Tithonia. One of the few yellows that are blooming, or starting to bloom. I know there's one in here. I'll find it. Anyway. But yeah, look at this riot of color. You have the blue of the bachelor buttons, the magenta cosmos, purple verbena, bright yellow of the sunflowers, and then behind it you have white cosmos and the Tithonia. And here's another sunflower that just tipped over. This one, I think, though, I can stand back up. So I will try to stand that back up and get it off of the zinnia. Whoop, pardon my shadow. The zinnia and the cosmos that it just sort of swamped. All right, so enough of the pollinator row, although, I mean, I love this row. More cupcake, white, cosmos. It's just so pretty. Totally worth doing, even though it takes a bit of effort to deadhead this all summer. All right, a couple of other things that are fun going on here in the garden. Watermelons. Look! We have watermelons. 3 big ones so far. 3. I know I saw a few smaller ones, and I haven't dug through the branches yet, but there's a little one there. And I know I've seen more. But yeah, very exciting. So the squashes are loving this heat. They love the heat. Now this one is the honeydew melon. And I'm trying to remember where oh, there it is. I know I saw one. There's one right there. Kind of funny looking. Oh, and there's another one over here. I know I saw more than one. All right, beans. This is the other big thing that's going on in the garden. This right here, and I'm sorry about the angle of the sun. So all up there are the black turtle beans, and then the first planting of jade starts right about here. And it is going gangbusters. I actually just sent a friend off with a couple of big handfuls of green beans. But yeah, I'm in here picking every other day, and I have more beans than I know what to do with. Filling up the freezer. We did have a second planting of beans, and that starts right about here, and as you can see, it's fairly sparse. And then I need to get in here and water, but right here, this blank space, is the third sowing of beans. And yeah, I need to get more water on it. But hopefully, ooh, I just noticed something. Look at this in here. Oh, the big muskmelon. Wow, look at that. That is so cool. All right, big muskmelon. Anyway, so those green beans are doing well. However, up here we have a planting of the French fillet beans, the skinny little fillet beans, and guess what? They're starting to come in too. Just starting. So yeah, next week we'll be picking these as well. Lots of beans. I always forget how many beans a packet of seed can produce until I'm in the thick of it, and then I say, I'm not going to do it again. And yeah. The peppers are starting to turn just a little bit, some of them. So yeah, that's exciting. It'll be a while though before they're fully green. Let me come up here. So the peas are just about done. I think I might be able to get another picking, but as you can see, when the bottom starts to get a little yellow, they're done. There are still some pods on here, and they still look okay, but I'll wait. I'll pick them in the morning when the weather's cool. So yeah, what else is going on? Oh, let me go over. So the friend that I just gave the beans to is my friend Sue, who has the garlic. And so she was over just checking on her garlic, and it's almost ready. And actually, she's going to come back tomorrow and pick the, there are 2 varieties in here. This one she says she wants to let dry just a little bit more, brown up a little bit more. But back here, you'll notice there's a variety that's much taller, and she's going to come back and pull this tomorrow. We pulled a test clove today, and it looks great, so she's going to come pull that tomorrow. Let's see, what else? The goji berries seem to be holding their own. So yeah, I haven't done anything, but the heat seems to agree with them, so yeah, looking okay. And the sunflowers are just, oh my goodness, I love these so much. Sunflowers make me happy, especially sunflowers with bumblebees on them. Yeah. Okay. So let's see, what else do I want to show you before we call it a week? Oh, actually, let me swing around here. Look at the apples. Aren't they beautiful? I did thin them out a little bit. Probably still have too many on here, but I don't care. I'm just so excited to have apples this year that, yeah. Yay. And also the pears, the Bartlett pears. I mean, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Yeah. Very cool. All right, so let's take a walk. This is going to be sort of an off-the-cuff garden synopsis. I don't want to go through every single thing. Potatoes are looking like they're almost ready to start digging out. What else? The kale, and it may not show on camera, but I fertilized it and weeded it and cleaned it up, and we had a bunch of rain, and I think it made a huge difference. It looks a lot greener, a lot less yellow. So we've been harvesting it, harvested cabbage, although this cabbage is looking a little rough. That's more chicken feed cabbage than people cabbage. And down here, these are looking really good. There's some flea beetle damage. Should we cut one of these? And what I'll do is I'll actually pull that out of the ground and toss it into the chickens, and they'll love it. So yeah, the other cabbages and broccolis are holding their own. I need to get in here and water. Whoops, just stepped on something. I need to get in here and water today because it's been dry. Oh yeah, and the corn is looking great. I did put in the strings trying to hopefully stabilize it a little bit, but it's looking really good. Oh, we have tassels. Yay, tassels. Look at that. It's going to be a bit weird because some are tasseling and others are not, so we'll see how well the fertilization goes. Yeah, maybe a bit spotty because we have two different batches that were sown at different times, but this is good. Very exciting. Silly things, right? They just make me happy. So the perennial holding row, I'm actually in the process of excavating the weeds, believe it or not. Yeah, but there's so many good things in here that are blooming. It's sort of like a inadvertent pollinator row. And we have, alliums here that are just buzzing with all kinds of pollinators. Mostly bumblebees. We've had a lot of bumblebees this year, which is great. Heliopsis. The shallots are looking like they're almost done. They're not looking terribly happy. Have to keep an eye on that. Shasta daisies, I probably need to come in here and deadhead those. Some globe thistles, echinacea, and a whole pile of weeds. Yeah. Yeah, helenium, I think. Look at these globe thistles. I can't wait to get these into the pollinator border. They're going to be so pretty. One of my favorite plants. The blue is just so intense. I love it. The rhubarb is dying back. It does this time of year. It's done. It goes dormant. I just let the leaves go because they act as sort of a natural mulch and suppress weeds. So I won't touch that, until later on I'll come through and probably clean these up and put them in the compost bin. But for now, I'm just going to let them sort of rot in place. The liatris, the plantings of lettuce. I did have a new planting of Salanova that went in. I need to water again today. Looking a little crispy, but that's sort of normal for new plantings. And then some head lettuces and that are ready to harvest now, and another planting of the Salanova with a weed. Let's get this out. This carpet weed is everywhere. Sort of like purslane. It's the two biggest weeds I have in the garden. Purslane and carpet weed. Anyway, that's looking really good. Oh, where'd you come from? Hi. She lives under the deck in the summer, so it's rare to see her out. Must be getting close to dinner time, huh? You want dinner? Yeah? Oh, I said the magic word. There she goes, off to dinner. Okay, well, I think that is probably it from the garden. Okay, I think I'm going to call it. That is it for week 13 of This Week in the Garden. Not a terribly exciting week. It's sort of midsummer, late summer maintenance right now. Like I've said before, harvesting, watering, and weeding. That's pretty much all I do. And yeah, we'll start to think about some fall planting pretty soon in another couple of weeks, get some spinach and some more lettuces and things going, and I'll be sure to show you that. But for now, it's just trying to stay ahead of the bounty that's coming in, which is great. And it's the whole reason I garden, I think. The whole reason I grow vegetables is just this time of year when everything is coming in and you don't know what to do with all the produce, and you're giving stuff away and freezing stuff and canning stuff, and it's just, I just feel so lucky to be able to do that. Anyway, so let's wrap up week 13. Thank you for joining me. I do appreciate that you're here, and come back next week, week 14, and see what's going on in the garden. Bye.